thought there was a conspiracy. Very good.
Morgan? Yes. No, he's okay.
At the end, I can just swing it a bit. Okay. Probably, well, I was gonna tell them what we're gonna do today. Maybe at that time we could. The YouTube camera is running and we'll go live, and I mean we are live, but the service will begin in 30 seconds or so, and I'll begin with the ringing of the conch shell, and then I'll come up here to explain everything. So sit tight, we'll be on in a minute. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Joya New Year's Eve service for today. Nice to have people here and there. This makes me happy. We have people with legs, actual legs, not cardboard cutouts or not Zoom people. And so the YouTube camera is sitting over here, a little bit of distance, and we're not going to be able to zoom in and out for the tighter shots. So this is what we get. Nice to have everyone here, though. So just to smiling back there, to hit the concho and to have a few people. You know, those of you watching on YouTube cannot see, but we have maybe 8 people here, distanced properly. COVID protocol was followed to take their temperatures and everything, and we're trying to be as safe and cautious as possible. I'd like to introduce you to our chairperson for today. It's me. Okay, thank you very much. Usually we have little stuffy animals who have been our chairpersons, but today they took the day off and you have to settle for me. So I'd like to go over the service order for today. We'll be having the reading of the golden chain, which you do not have, but you can remember it. And then I'll take my seat upon the altar for the chanting of the Sambujo and the Juseige. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and then I'll come back to share a short Dharma message. Okay, and then this will be followed by ringing our 108 ringing of the bell. A little bit different this time, but I'll explain that when we get there. So please join me for the reading of the golden chain, or just listen to me. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Sambujo, Juseige. 一歩如来二遊道上三下華厳長世願非死無常道志願不満足成不上昇学願を無量行不異大摂取不再小貧具成不上昇学下士上分路妙正長実法空境未正門成不上昇学利欲人少年上へ修本業四愚無常道一生天人死人力現代行不生無才道少女三苦妙交際集約難海一英言滅死根門永息小悪道通難全修門高僧上満足異様老実法日願修十期天候不言一種解放像公正六法上大集中説法四識供養一切仏具足修徳本願念心上満徳一三害を女分無下知通難未不詳願学営力同志最小尊志願薬効果大聖の感動国書天人教鎮妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダ sai Don mo dai shin Ojo Namanda, 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 namanda. It's nice to be able to chat together and actually hear some other voices, and so I'm really enjoying this. I wanted to share a little bit. Sometimes I share some of the adventures of Sensei, and particularly coming to the end of year, the beginning of the next year, it's always the case where we have two services in a row on New Year's Eve and then on the New Year's Day following. And this year in particular, we have three in a row, right? Because immediately after January 2nd is our Shotsuki service, the first Sunday of 2022. So this time, a little bit different that there's three services to prepare for. And not only three services, because we're doing the video services, I do the New Year's Day service first. Then I do the Shotsuki service second. Then I do this YouTube service third. Okay? So not only that, they're not in order, not only that, but for the New Year's Day service, it's a major service. So you put on the full uchishiki, our best uchishiki, and the flowers are fresh, and then we put the kagami mochi with the tangerine on top, decorating that on the three altars. And so a special setting for New Year's Day. Then you take it all off, and then you put up, instead of the kagami mochi, you take that off and you put obokban, the rice offerings up here, and then that's a different service completely, and for the Shotsuki, right? And then today's service is done after all, so you take all the uchishiki off, and because it's not a morning service, evening service, you don't need obukban, right? And so then on top of that, every service has different robes. I have white robes on for New Year's Day, and formal, but not the white robes on for the Shotsuki service, and then simple robes for today's end of year service, which is not a major service. It's a very minor service, but still very enjoyable. So to have those three in a row, I didn't know whether I'm coming or going, or which robe should I wear, or which service is this. And after it's all done, I'm sending the link for the New Year's Day service when I'm recording the Shotsuki service, and then after that's all done, I'm sending the Shotsuki service link for Sunday this morning before I prepare for this New Year's Eve service. So are you confused? I'm confused. It's a lot to consider. So it's kind of a relief in a way to get to this point where all three services are ready to be provided, and everything went without hitch, hopefully. The YouTube format is still testing and unknown, so we'll see how it's from the reports of people, Alameda members and Manji members who are able to view it and can report back to give their reviews of how it all went, sound and looks and all of these things to consider. Okay, so thank you for that. And so also in preparation, I was looking at some of the stories from Renyo Shonin, and he has some writings called the collection called the Kikigaki, and on one of them is appreciation for the end of year. So I was wondering what he had to say for the end of the year, and apparently Renyo was ready to take a trip the next day to go visit a sensei, a different temple nearby. And he's talking to his attendant at his temple. And the night before, a lot of people had come before he was going to leave. And he was asking his attendant, wonder why so many people came the night before. And so his assistant told him, well, I think they just wanted to express their gratitude for your message, the week before, and then to greet you and give you their appreciation before you were going to leave on this trip. And so he kind of explained to Daniel why all these people had come, and he was kind of surprised. And so Daniel responded, the end of your greetings are totally useless. So we make such an effort to come here and try to be at this end of your service. And then you'll say, this is all useless. Tell them to awaken their shinjin and make this just an appreciation of the end of the year. So he's kind of redirecting. He didn't want to indulge in just frivolous greetings, gatherings. He didn't want to meet and just say hellos and thank yous, champagne, sake, salami, sushi. Probably fireworks or basketball are out of the question, right? He didn't want to do with any of them. Tell them just awaken their shinjin. This was his encouragement, his admonition for all of us, even still today, to awaken to Amida, to awaken to recognize our connection to all else. And I think, in a sense, in this recognition, not just to know something, but this greater reality is who we are. And this is just a temporary being. So when we can identify with all of it, that's me, that's you, that's us, then this temporary is okay. It comes, it goes, it's okay. And so we are connected to this greater self and this truth of all of reality. So with this, we step beyond our ego, self-centered perspective, and we are connected, and our lives are grounded. And this is, hopefully, we can recognize and work towards or come to understand. And this is what Daniel was trying to encourage his members to continue to, don't just get caught up in our self-centered perspective of lesser important, what he might consider frivolous things in our lives. Look to deeper connections that the Nembutsu is directing us towards. So today we have, in preparation, usually it's called the Joya no Kane, so the bells of the last night of the year when we hit the kansho 108 times, just like the 108 beads in our onenju to remind us of our blind passions. And so, because we're doing this video YouTube service, it's not so interesting to watch people go walk into a closet and go hit the bell over here. So we're doing something different. I have put out, I'm going to bring down the daikin that signals the start of our service, and we have also the settaku, which keeps the beat, the rhythm of some of the chant we do, the Amida Kyo and others. And then we have what's called the sawari, and it's a different type of bell that we use for certain specific chants. And so I'm going to step down and demonstrate each of these in a second. So don't change the angle yet, just in a second. And so we're going to hit these. And so rather than the kansho, it's kind of like exploring the sounds of the temple. Okay, we have 3 different sounds, and you could hit, there's not too many. You could hit 10 times, 12 times, whatever. But you can do all of them on one or do a few on each. But try to explore the different sounds and maybe become a little bit more accustomed to some of the different elements that we usually hold on the Onaijin area, and people are not really familiar with them. So you can do, I'll demonstrate this. But before we get to this, I would like to take a moment of thanks to all the members and the friends Buddhist Temple of Alameda and Manji Buddhist Temple. Everyone has been so helpful through the year. It's been a difficult year to try to maneuver around the pandemic conditions and such, but try to provide services and memorials and funerals that had very much difficulty to try to address, but we were able to do that, and whole teamwork is involved to allow the temple to do this, and certainly I appreciate the assistance in that way. And so all your kindness towards both Sharman and myself is very much appreciated, and so we look forward to sharing next occasions and events and services and adventures as the new year comes. Okay, so thank you very much. Please join me in Gassho, and we'll conclude the Hova portion of the service. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. So what I'm going to do now is kind of demonstrate, and what we're going to do is have everyone come up in Oshoko and then turn towards the table. So we'll keep our social distancing, take our time, and you can come and try each of these elements, and I'll demonstrate in a second, but this is what we're going to do. So let me move the daikin, and then I'll light the incense, and then I'll show each of these things, and you can come down and try, okay? Okay. Yeah. It's going to be fun. So what I would like everyone to do, one at a time, you're going to come up in Oshoko and turn and go this way and hit however many times. Feel free. We have to hit for all the people who are not here. Those of you who are viewing from YouTube land, you go hit whatever you want to hit. We can't hear you. It's okay. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Daikin. And pretend to be the sensei for the day. You can hit it. I'd like to hit it just a little bit up. Let it ring. When Log Set Taku, keep the beat to our chanting of the Amida Kyo. Don't drop them. Don't take one of them. Sawari. A little bit of a tunnier, softer sound. You hit the inside. and then you can file out to conclude the service, okay? So who would like to start? Mas, you'll be good at this. Go on, one more good one, please. There you go. Next. Dorothy has the backhand. Wait, do it again. Get a nice sound. Try it. You kind of let it swing. It's not easy. Okay. Thank you.
Next year.
You gotta teach her how. Yeah, good. Nice one. Are there any other people? No? Did Tom come through? He's okay? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Very nice to hear the sounds of the temple. And this will conclude our service. So thank you very much for joining in with us. And we looking forward to hearing your comments. And hopefully, little by little, we'll be able to improve our YouTube services. Thank you very much. Thank you.